Now, we're still talking about getting ready to be a counselor at the tent revival. And like I was telling Brandon today, I said I'll be pretty much going over everything we've gone over before, but you might hear something that you missed last time that could prove crucial. Because I want you to remember something, okay? And they'll tell you this when you go to the Billy Graham School, or rather, when they used to have it, on being a counselor. You're sitting down in a nice, quiet setting. It's a controlled setting. There, you're going to have people talking. You're going to have sound systems blaring. You're going to have people walking around, kids running and crying and carrying on. And so you need to know your stuff, because the devil's going to be throwing distractions at you. And he loves to do that. Now, I'm going to say again, I was, just before I showed up here, I had a chance to talk to someone very closely involved in the church situation up the hill here. And we was talking along, and this is something I pointed out to him. I said, man, you got to learn to keep it simple and keep it moving. And he said, you're exactly right. Keep it simple, keep it moving. And so this is one of the things that you will be taught. Now, this is the final session that we're going to be having together about the early church and their evangelistic outreach. Tonight we're in Acts chapter 2. We're in the second chapter of Acts tonight. Now, Lord willing, next Sunday morning at 10 o'clock, we're going to be actually getting into the presentation itself. The presentation of the plan of salvation. You got somebody that came forward and they want to receive Christ as their Savior, and they're staring at you, and what do you do now? And so that's why that you're here. One of the reasons why that I wanted to put this course together is because I used to go to pastors' fellowships. You ever been to a pastor's fellowship where it's shotgun preaching? You're next. I've been to a few of those. And the guys would stand up there, and they meant so well. They were such loving, kind people. But they stand up there, are you winning souls? Are you telling people about Jesus? Are you bringing people to Christ? And that kind of thing. And, okay, have you ever taught them how? You've got to be taught. And so then I put together a course. We had a big crusade coming to the stadium there in Roanoke, one of the two stadiums that we have there. And they was getting ready to put it together, and they said, Carl, could you put a course together for counselors? I said, yeah, I think I could. And so we did, and I taught it, and it went over very well, and everybody learned what they needed to know. And then after that, I started having pastors ask me to come to their churches and teach this course to teach their people how to win others to Christ. And I remember one church I went to, and it was about a 3 or 4 night session, and we had a good time in the Lord. And one lady over this side from me, I noticed she kept really taking notes, really good notes. And then after the last night, we pulled out to go home, and she's about 2 or 3 doors down, had her Bible open, her notes out. She's going after it, but and oh boy, I said, that's it. Amen. That's what we want. So now the early church was heavy into evangelism and missions. Now Acts chapter 2, verse 42, and let's see. Katrina, do you have that verse? Acts chapter 2, verse 42? You should be close. Okay, would you read 42 through 47, please? Stand up if you will. There you go. 42 through 47.
And they continued
steadfastly
in the apostles' doctrine and fellowship, and in breaking of bread, and in prayers. And fear came upon every soul, and many wonders and signs were done by the apostles.
Very good.
And all that believed were together, and had all things common, and sold their possessions and goods, and parted them to all men, and every man as needed. And they continued daily with one according to the temple, and breaking bread from house to house, did eat their meat with gladness and singleness of heart, praising God and having
Okay, thank you. You did a very good job.
Amen.
You're now going to be my heater whenever I need a heater. The last girl I had was my reader. They packed up and went to Texas. They left me with nobody. Now I got you. All right. At the end of verse 47, and the Lord added to the church, how often? Daily. And I want you to look at something. Who added to the church? The Lord added daily such as should be saved. That's 7 days a week. That's 365 days a year the Lord is adding to the church. Now, what I want to go over tonight, and this is going to be so important for everyone in this room, why did he add to the church daily? What was the church doing that he would add to the church every single day? Well, let's take a look at it. All right, to start with, in verse 42, you're going to see the first four things. The first four things. And they continued steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine. Fellowship, 2, breaking of bread, 3, and in prayers. That's 4. Notice that the first thing that they did, they continued steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine, fellowship, breaking of bread, praying. Now, look, they continued steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine. This is so important. They went out knowing their stuff. They went out knowing their material. What do we want to present? Because they were going to every door in town. Now, when you look at Acts, I'm not going to ask you to turn to it. When you look at Acts chapter 1 and verse 8, now watch this. They were to start where?
In Jerusalem.
In Jerusalem. And we'll see later on as we go through this, that they was even accused of turning Jerusalem upside down with their doctrine. So they got the job done in Jerusalem. And they were to start in Jerusalem. And we see here in verse 42, and they continued steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine. Now what they were doing was, Jesus taught the apostles. The apostles taught the people. Now, I'm not trying to pat anybody on the back or set anybody up. That's why God calls pastors. We're supposed to learn our stuff. And this is why that... Okay, this is why it's important for pastors. Now listen to me. To go to Bible college. To go to a good, sound, fundamental school. It's important that they go to seminary. And Miss Venda's done told me that after Bible college, she wants to go to seminary. You will hate me when that one is over. Now, bachelor's one thing, master's is something else. And then we get the doctoral, you'll hang me. All right. Now watch this.
Can't scare her no more.
I know. Now watch this. Please. Jesus taught the apostles. Then the apostles taught the people. And he told them in Matthew chapter 28, teaching them to observe. And that means teaching them to obey everything I've taught you. And actually sometimes pastors, I think, get away from that because they don't want to appear too hard to people and too hard-hearted. But actually,